acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Scott.
Present.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Here.
Commissioner Marecki.
Here.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Present.
Commissioner Anderson.
Present.
Vice Chair Baydoun.
Present.
Chair Bell. I'm sorry, Chair Varga.
Yeah, here.
Have a quorum present.
Thank you. Welcome to our new member, Commissioner Kinlock.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to working with you on here. Next item, please.
Item B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I just want everybody to have a happy new year, and we're hopefully going to have a year like no other, which means that 2020 is behind us. Normally 2020 is supposed to be a good thing, but hopefully we'll have a better time budget-wise as well, and hopefully we'll get some relief from the federal government for our counties and our states. So I'm really looking forward to having some money to work with for our county residents. And hopefully we'll get our vaccines and everything out. And so I have a lot of hopeful things for this year, but as far as us working, I hope that we continue to work in the same fashion that we did last year, very hard and harmoniously. And so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Next item, please.
Item C, approval of the minutes of the December 14th, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Marecki.
Been moved, supported.
I must be. Oh.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D, unfinished business, there is none. Moving to item E of new business. Communication forwarding the City of Detroit Downtown Development Authority, a City of Detroit 8-Mile Woodward Corridor Improvement Authority, and the City of Detroit Local Development Finance Authority annual reports for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020.
Move to receive and file.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item C, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35051, certifying revenue in the general fund and reallocating expenditures in the jail commissary fund.
Alrighty. Any questions by members?
I'll move support, Marecki.
Support Anderson. Oh,
Commissioner
I mean,
Opposed?
approval,
Supported by-
approval. I'm sorry. My whole day's been going like this. Sorry.
I think this is a.
We're gonna get a drone and deliver some coffee.
Gosh, sorry about that.
It's been moved by Commissioner Marecki, supported by Commissioner Anderson to approve it. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. That was unanimous, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Item 3, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35065, certifying revenue in the general fund.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kinlock, move approval. Support.
Any discussion? It's been moved and supported. Actually, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Baydoun,
Yes.
Chair Varga.
Yes,
Motion carries. Moving to item E4, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35066, certifying revenue in the general fund.
Thank you. This is for the prosecutor, just moving monies around.
I move
Move
for
approval,
approval.
Marecki.
Support, Scott.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Baydun,
Yes. Chair
Varga.
Yes,
Motion carries. We will now move to the agenda. Are you all able to view my screen?
yes.
Item 5 on the agenda, requesting commission approval of the appointment of Yogesh Deshani to the position of Deputy Chief Financial Officer.
Do we have our CFO online?
Yes, I'm sorry I'm not on video, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, could you please introduce this contract and the person?
Yes, so just for the record, Huey Newsome, Chief Financial Officer for Wayne County. I'm here to introduce Yogesh Kasani for the, for the approval of the appointment to Deputy CFO, Deputy Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Gasani has been serving as the director and still serves as Director of Financial Reporting for the county. He has been very instrumental in not only helping with all the duties of his current office, but also being supportive for all the other division directors throughout management and budget, as well as other accounting and finance people throughout the county. Yogesh has been very instrumental in the work that we've done up to this point to get the ERP project up and running. He's been very critical with our annual audits. In fact, he's working very diligently, probably as we speak, in making sure that the audit is executed. If you want to talk about the county's debt rating and the fact that we've had improved debt ratings year after year after year, you can point directly at Yogesh. He's been very instrumental in that. That goes back to having well put together CAFRs, or comprehensive annual financial reports, which goes to Yogesh's current office, as well as being able to get through our audits without a significant amount of major findings. Yogesh has been able to do this, even though I think it's very well known that we have major staffing problems, not just in management and budget, but also throughout the county. So I strongly recommend Yogesh for this position, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. While I have you here, could you please stay on for such other matters too? Committee members, do you have any questions? We're up for discussion on item 5.
I will move approval, Madam Chair.
Support.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I just wanted to know how long the deputy has been, or the newest member have been with Wayne County. Or the appointment.
I just want to, I'm sorry, can I ask, just make sure I understand the question? Yogesh has been with the county, if I remember correctly, I think 7 years. Should be part of the package. And he's, but he's only, obviously he has not served as a deputy CFO until this appointment is effectuated.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to clarify the number of years, because you talked about his capacity with the
Mhm.
county and the work that he has been doing. And I just wanted to clarify the number of years. Thank you.
I'm glad you did that. This would be a promotion. This would be a promotion from his current position into the deputy CFO role.
Mr. Abel?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to mention that Staff at the commission has worked very closely with Yogesh in the past, and I think that this is an excellent appointment. And actually, probably unknown to a lot of people, when Matthew Dubé was ill several years ago, it was Yogesh that filled in. So none of the things that he's going to be doing are new to him. I truly echo the sentiments of our CFO. I think that this is an excellent choice, and I think he's going to do great, and congratulations to him.
Thank you. He is on the line.
Yes.
Would you like to say something?
Madam Chair, I
Don't want to just be there silently waiting.
Yes. Yes, commissioners. If I may say that, yeah, name Yogesh Kisani, and definitely as a CFO, my boss has introduced, as well as Mark Abel. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for this body for approving this position. Yes, I've been working with the county as an employee for last 6 years. Prior to that, I have done numerous projects with the county for last almost 15 or 18 years. So I'm very much familiar with the county's operation, processes, technology, as well as most of the familiar faces that I'm able to work with. So I'm excited to step into this position, definitely. And once again, thank you very much for anybody, and looking forward to work with this legislative body.
Thank you. Looking forward to working with you as well. Commissioner Murphy and Commissioner Anderson. Go ahead. Commissioner Murphy, there you go.
Oh, no, I didn't have a question. I'm all set.
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, finally.
I had my hands up.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. This appears to be a $20,000 increase. And I just wonder what the previous deputy was being paid. And also if this is commensurate with the other positions in other counties surrounding us. Is this a comparable?
If I may, let me answer the second question first. I don't know if anybody from personnel, human resources is on, but I've kind of gotten a front row seat to this play several times over the last few months. I will tell you that this is definitely under market with municipalities like sized. For instance, the city of Detroit, if you use that as a point of comparison, about 60% larger budget, but you're looking at about up to 180,000 for their deputy CFOs, right? And there's a myriad of people of different DCFO positions over at the city of Detroit. The previous owner of this position started at 140, went up when he took over some of the CFO roles before I was hired, and then I think he went back to 140,000. That's where he was when he left the position. If I remember correctly.
That's what our analysis shows also. Yep. That is at $140,000.
So if you look at where this position is compared to Yogesh's county experience as he comes in, plus you adjust for inflation, I would argue that the 145 is appropriate.
Okay. Would you provide us, Huey, would you provide us a report on the number of positions that are in management and budget currently, and what give us a historical perspective on how many we're down in that department, and also maybe in verbiage, if you could tell us the turnover that has been in that department. How many people have come and gone in the last? I know you're relatively new, but maybe someone in the department has historical perspective on what we're seeing in that department, and maybe we can get to the bottom of it and try to assist the executive's office or whatever department makes those decisions, because it seems what I'm hearing is there is quite a bit of turnover.
And I will say that the turnover is not just an M&B, but it definitely hurts an M&B. I will take that as a request for a receiving file and work to get that to you in the next few weeks. Obviously, with everything going on with the audit, we're definitely looking at this, but not to be facetious. You asked for someone with the historical perspective. We're running out of people with the historical perspective. Unfortunately, Yogesh, we really wanted to make sure to promote Yogesh because he's one of the few people that are left with the historical perspective. But no, I will. It's a, it's really not a laughing matter. It's a very serious matter, and it's an analysis I'm happy to prepare, and I will take that as a request for a receiving file.
For my part, I'd say welcome, Yogesh.
Thank you very much.
And to that point, Madam Chair.
We have, okay, go ahead.
Just a quick question to that point, as far as the historical perspective. When did we last have a deputy CFO?
Well, let me answer your question this way, if I may, Madam Chair.
Sure.
Matthew Dubé served as a deputy CFO. I think he was promoted probably 2-3 years ago. Mark's going to correct me when I say something wrong. Kevin Haney, who was also promoted to a deputy CFO position. So at one point we had 2 DCFOs when I started at the county a year ago. Obviously, Kevin Haney retired. We have not been able to backfill him with someone with the seniority, if you will, that should serve as a deputy CFO. And then on top of that, obviously Matthew Dubé resigned from the county effective 12/31, the end of last year. So officially right now, management and budget does not have anyone serving in that deputy role that helps to oversee everything that's going on throughout the department. The expectation and hope is that we will hire 2 people to serve in at that senior level, at that senior level leadership. But our hope is obviously Yogesh is approved today, and what's been a little bit more of a challenge is to have that senior level oversight, if you will, over the budget, right? Which is its own challenge right now, and is something that has taken a lot of my time to try to figure out a way to get that role filled. So I'm hoping that answers your question. But yeah, right now 0. If this appointment's approved, it goes to 1. And then, the vision is to, very quickly get that back up to 2, because we do need that level leadership within the department. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
No,
Thank you.
Did you say, Mark? Yeah, you're right. Basically the deputy CFOs, one was primarily reporting, the other one was primarily budget. So right now, after this appointment, we have just one, and I believe we're still looking to fill the budget position that was vacated by Kevin Haney.
Is Kevin gone now?
Although at this point in time, Yogesh will probably be doing everything, if I'm not.
That is correct.
Yeah,
if I may say, Matthew and I started together. Matthew has came as a deputy CFO in 2015, and I joined as a director of financial reporting 2015. So.
Commissioner Martha G. Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just calling to see who did he replace? There was a woman in the position. Is she gone? I don't remember her name.
I think that was Chandrika. And I don't recall her last name, but that was many, many years ago.
That's correct. Chandrika Karur was a director of financial reporting, and I took her position. That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to discuss this particular item? Okay, we're ready to vote. Do we have a motion?
Yes, I moved it.
Okay, do we have a support?
I'll support it.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Baydun,
Yes.
Chair Varga,
Yes,
motion carries.
Madam Chair,
yes.
it was Kelly that I was talking about. Is she still with the administration?
Oh, you're thinking of Kelly Rao, Commissioner. No,
Yeah.
she is not.
She no longer is, right? She no
No.
longer is.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I was thinking about the same thing that you were asking more recent.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah,
If I might,
right.
Kelly Rao at one point was taking over for Kevin Haney.
Right,
He's no longer
yeah.
here.
Yes, is correct.
I thought we were talking about the person that Yogesh replaced many years ago, and that was Chandrika.
Mhm.
Well, congratulations, and we look forward to taking this to full board for you to be officially appointed.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Chair, and all commissioners. I really definitely looking forward to working with you.
Well, you deserve it. You're going to be over your head.
Hey, wow, trust me.
We're going to love working with you.
Thank you.
Next item.
We have returned to the agenda. Item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Under this particular item, I would like to ask, how are we doing, Mr. Newsome? Huey?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Could you repeat your question?
How are we doing? What are we need to look? What do we look forward to? Are we having issues with staffing, working? Just give me an overall of what you've been dealing with since our last meeting.
I think the biggest headache that we have right now is staffing. As you know, we're going through the audit, and Yogesh, of course, is spearheading that. The two things that keep me up at night, if you will, is just general staffing throughout the department, and the other piece is the budget division. I think that we've thanks to you all's help today, we made a we're making huge strides in getting staffing together on the financial reporting side, because tomorrow, literally, what we're going to do is start trying to backfill Yogesh. So we feel like we have some candidates for that, and that will help us out. Now, on the budget side, we got a while to go. And I think the question was asked, but it wasn't answered. What happened to Kevin Haney? And the thing with Kevin Haney is he is a project consultant for us now, but he's about to, that project consultant time is about to expire. And I don't know if we don't know if he's going to continue with us after March, but we still have to get a budget proposed and adopted, right? So, those are the two things that really keep me up at night. But I think the big thing right now is from a staffing perspective, we have to get bodies in seats, and then the budget division definitely needs to be addressed.
Does it look like we had to give any money back to the federal government for the COVID relief?
That is a no. We just and I'm glad you asked this question because it's very important. I don't know if everybody knows, President Trump didn't sign a law that extended the eligibility of the money. So that $207 million, in theory, the federal government has given us to the end of the calendar year of 2021 to spend it, which means that we had just a little bit left over when he signed that act in the law. So we don't feel that we're in any danger of not being able to spend the full $207 million that we received.
And of course, I presume we have plans for that. I really applaud the last minute effort to give unemployed folks some dollars, and there are some still that fell through the cracks who didn't get to apply because they didn't know. But could some of that be sort of an extension for those who fell through?
Good. That's a great question, and I guess we have not met since that was all done. I do want to take an opportunity to congratulate all the people that did work on that program. I can't even start to tell you the amount of effort it took to get that program from start to finish up and running, and I consider it a huge success. But I will say that we're not betting the farm on it, but we do expect that with the Biden administration taking over, as well as a Democratic Senate, we do think that the political winds are shifting such that we'll be able to get another tranche of money, not just the extension that we've already gotten, but another tranche of money in programs that were successful, like that program for the restaurant workers, workers that were disenfranchised by COVID. We expect that we'll be able to fund more programs like that. But don't hesitate to write your senators and our Congress people, so that we can get that additional tranche of money and fund programs like that one.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Baydun.
To that point, since we have this money from the CARES Act, and I know we have until the end of the year, have there been any discussions, because we might have some shortfalls because in terms of generating property taxes this year, and I know a lot of cities and municipalities are going to be suffering. Has there been any discussion about using some of this money to fill in the budget gaps if we have any shortfalls, in case we don't collect all the taxes?
Yeah, there's just, if I may, Madam Chair, let me answer that this way. One of the ways that we used the 207 million, obviously not all of it, but one of the things we did do was technically revenue loss is, we can't use the money for revenue loss, but we can use it for CARES eligible expenditures, including payroll. Right.
Okay.
So for the sheriff's office, which is funded with general fund, general purpose money, or general fund money, in theory, you could use CARES money to support them because they're frontline workers, quote unquote. Because they're frontline workers, instead of us using our tax dollars to fund sheriff's office payroll, we use CARES money to do that. So it's a kind of instead of using it for revenue loss and supplementing revenues, we instead use it to pay for certain expenditures. So we move expenditures out of the general fund, as opposed to bringing a subsidy into the general fund, if you will. And that has helped us address potential revenue losses, in fiscal 20, at the end of fiscal 20, and also into fiscal 21. So that's been helpful. And if, our expectation is that, that the criteria for another tranche would be similar to the criteria that we saw in the first 207 million. So in theory, that's the way it would work. So hopefully that's clear. That's clearer than
Yeah, that's a good answer. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
If I might add, Commissioner, I've always, I've looked at the numbers, particularly in property taxes. The county may take a hit when it comes to revenue sources from outside economic activity, things like airport parking tax, things of that sort. But when it comes to property taxes, there's a spread between state equalized value and taxable value of 24%. So theoretically, our property taxes values need to drop by 24% before the county is going to lose a revenue. So even in the 2008 recession, it did not drop by 24%. So I don't expect that we're going to have a big hit. Now, we may have a timing issue because people may not pay, and we have to go through the foreclosure and the delinquent tax revolving process to collect it, but that's just a timing issue. So the tax charge would be for this year, but we may not collect it for several years, but that is minor to our budget.
Good. Thank you, Mark.
And Madam Chair?
Yes.
Just a question about the excess funds that we have. I sit on the Port Authority, as well as Commissioner Kinlock. He is the chair. And we have been having issues, and we just discussed it in the economic development meeting about funding the port. And I just wanted to put that out there on your radar, that the port does need some assistance. And again, I'm not sure how we are looking at distributing those funds, but I just want to put that on your radar.
Alrighty, they'll take notice. How are we doing with our staffing? Is everyone back to work, working remotely as they can? And if they can't, how are we handling it?
Madam Chair, if I may, pretty much the entire county from administration standpoint, as well as my understanding, all the offices of the elected officials are all working remotely where possible, or coming into the office where the job requires them to physically be on location. But my understanding, there is no paid or unpaid furlough at this point.
Okay. And we negotiated some contracts, and some contracts, are there still contract talks going on?
There are contract talks going on. I think POAM is probably the biggest one. There's some smaller ones. I believe GAA, specific probate court, and Third Circuit Court, if I remember correctly. But the biggest one in terms of number of people right now is POAM.
Okay. Yeah, we have to do something to get you some numbers in your department for sure. We used to have probably about 20 or 30 more people than you currently have to do the same work that you currently do. So we do know that you are very grossly understaffed.
Yeah, I would add, Madam Chair, and I appreciate your concern. Trust me, it's my concern as well. I would add, we just received $207 million more grant money, and we all know the challenges that we have with complying with federal grants. So, I would argue that the work has increased versus decreased. Thankfully, we did get the money from the federal government, but the amount of work and oversight that's necessary for that level of funding from the federal government, we all know how federal grants work, at least at a high level, we have a challenge ahead of us, and there's no question about it.
I think you would have support of all of our committee members to try to staff as fully as possible your office, so you can get every dollar that we can possibly do. I support you on that. Anyone else has a question for Mr. Newsome, or under such other matters for anyone else? Mark?
I'm good, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to keep you guys here for a while because we haven't met in a long time, and I'm kind of enjoying seeing all your faces. Alrighty, well, in that case, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item G, public comments.
Could you please unmute everyone?
Answer. Real.
Everyone has been unmuted.
Are we able to speak now?
Commissioner Varga, you're muted.
Identify yourself for the record.
Yes, this is President Buffington of Local 1659.
Yes.
I know this is not a portion of the meeting today, but since you brought it up, I emailed a few of you commissioners as well as the Chief Judge Kenny and the Wayne County Clerk. We're still going back and forth on the issue that I brought forth during the pandemic and during multiple meetings in regards to the remote work of employees that were able to do so. The governor's orders have expired, but you still have Frank Murphy. That is a prevalent hotspot where I'm losing people, they're losing time, they're losing pay because the governor's orders are not in effect, and they are constantly having the coronavirus expelled upon multiple individuals in that building, not just the sheriff's department, but the court clerks themselves from court staff. There's a standstill. I have invited Chief Judge Kenny, as well as the commissioners and the Department of Wayne County Labor, to a meeting with the county clerk to get this issue resolved. We have a new strain of P117 that has introverted from this virus, and it's contracting. And you're not going to have any employees there if my members keep dying and contracting this virus and passing it on if they're not able to work remotely. I thank you all very much for your time. And I know this is not going to be answered to, but I have already emailed you all prior to this meeting in regards to this issue. Thank you so much. This is President Buffington.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Okay, I would just like to ask, I did receive a copy of that email. I would just like to ask whoever's the most appropriate person to give us a historical perspective or history as it relates to this particular issue, but also how the department or the relative departments intend on responding to this.
We're under public comments. I'll come back to you, Commissioner. I have something I'm thinking about doing, maybe setting up a meeting separately, but let's finish the public comments and then I will again go back to other such matters. And that way we can discuss it. But right now we're under public comments, so please stay tuned. Anyone else from the public wishing to comment? Madam Clerk, did we get any communications, emails prior to the meeting?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone from the public wishing to comment? Okay. I would like to take the chair's prerogative to go back to such other matters. We can't discuss these kinds of things in under public comments, but I would certainly like to know myself why people cannot work from home or wherever in a remote area. Is it laptops, Ms. Buffington?
If I may, you all approved the COVID-19 monetary for Chief Judge Kenny. I was at that hearing. You approved the monetary for the county clerk. The county clerk, Mrs. Ways, did answer the email. There's an issue, and I just told her, I know union doesn't need to be privy, and you guys do need to be privileged because you have given the monetary necessary to make sure that this alignment is done. Some court clerks have been given their laptops by their judges to work from home because of the issues that have occurred. And the judges want to make sure that the dockets are moving. The clerk said that they were fine with that issue, but the problem is the responsibility as to whom it's going to fall under in regards to the usage of the equipment. I think that's the biggest tug of war. But you can't have such a menial issue when lives are in danger. And you're prevalently losing people on leave. They're without pay. With COVID-19 laws, you only get 14 days pay for the first instance. After that, it's the usage of your time. My people are losing their time because they're testing positive or they're either being exposed. And since the legislation has not put anything in place, there's nothing the union or the commission or the county executive can do for this loss of monetary and time and the factor the work isn't getting done because the people cannot be there sick or exposed. So this remote issue would eliminate a cost and a shortage that the court, as well as the county clerk and the county, is initially going forth with if they would resolve this issue.
I'm not sure I fully understand. The laptops are given by,
Both entities have available laptops. The county clerk has the laptops, and so does the court.
who needs to get which laptops, and is that an issue?
That's another reason why the meeting is needed. I don't know who wants to take the responsibility of releasing the laptops. The information comes from the court. So whatever item, I believe this all falls in the lap of the court, because the court has to be able to have the clearance for the laptops for the information to be filtered through the Third Circuit Court.
Okay, Mr. Newsome or Mr. Abbo, what do you suggest we need to do here? If anything in our purview, or do we need to?
Madam
uh,
Madam Chair, this
Yes.
this is Felicia.
Yes,
So just for your information and the committee's information, Chairwoman Bell did forward that email to me, and I did advise her with regards to this issue. So might I suggest that you contact her
Okay.
with regards to this, and then determine, based on what I told her, how to best move forward as a commission?
Okay, thank you. We will definitely follow that advice, and hopefully whatever that will be, we'll be able to resolve the issue. So your concerns are not going on deaf ears, is what I'm trying to say.
I know that. I thank your honorable body. I know you guys do what you can. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we definitely do want everyone to be as safe as we can possibly to go forward. Alrighty, in that case, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item H, adjournment.
So moved, Madam Chair. Scott.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposes it? Motion carries. Thank you all. Great meeting.
Bye.
Be safe. Bye.